Hey guys, welcome to Proper Names and Backstory. My name's Elyssa C, and today I am joined with
Lea G.
But hit me with your proper name.
Lockett G.
Okay, and today we're going to be discussing how a senior trial paralegal / office manager made her way up to the top into one of the top trial law firms in the nation, and how she manages a work-life balance, even though she doesn't right now.
I don't have a work-life balance.
Yeah, but how she was able to create the success that she has today and represent top clients like McDonald's, P Diddy prior to what happened, and just also her journey on even just becoming a paralegal. Okay, so tell me about your job and what you do currently.
Currently, I'm a trial paralegal. I'm a senior trial paralegal and an office manager / office manager.
Okay. And so when you first started doing a paralegal, is this something that you knew you wanted to do, or how did you kind of get into this job?
So no, I was originally on the path of being an attorney, and then I said, you know what, I don't want to be an attorney. I want to have a life. So I thought, psychology. So I went to the University of Laverne my first year, and I totally bombed psychology. I did not get it. Plus, maybe because I was partying too much at the same time. So I was like, okay, I don't want to do psychology. And then I went to business. So I did a couple years of business, and I just did not like it. I had to do all these accounting classes, math classes, and I was like, no. So I finally landed on paralegal school. So the college I went to, they actually offered a bachelor's degree in paralegal studies. So that's how I got my bachelor's degree in paralegal studies.
I know today's age is definitely different from 70 years ago.
Did you say 70 years ago? I'm not that old.
Definitely different than back then, though. Was it easy getting a paralegal job when you were first searching? I know the job, search right now is pretty hard to get into, and you need years of experience before you can even do something.
So I got lucky because when I was deciding what school I wanted, what subject matter I want to major in, I actually worked at a law firm at the same time. So I was a litigation secretary at a law firm of sole proprietorship. So I was already there. I was going to school full time and working full time. So because of that, I had already had the experience. And so I stayed there until both my kids were born. And then I went out and got a real paralegal job after that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And right now, currently, you're sitting at the #1 trial law firm in the nation.
Well, I don't know about nation. It's a boutique firm. We're a smaller firm, but we are brought in for trial.
Okay.
The owner of our company, he actually was a prosecutor for Enron. So he opened his own firm after leaving a CERN firm as well. So he opened his own firm, and now we've grown fast. We've been around for 10 years now, and it's actually grown pretty fast.
And you jump onto this? Have you been working here for 10 years then?
No, I have not. I've been here for 3.5 years, almost 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got the title of senior paralegal pretty quickly then. Is it because of your age?
It goes by years of experience. So I am a senior paralegal because of my experience, because of my years of experience. When I came to my firm, I think I was there doing law for about 23 years. Yeah. And so but I didn't have...
That's older than me.
Yeah, I know. But see, I didn't have trial experience. So don't say it was 70 years ago. But yes, I didn't have trial experience. But after I've been there a while and I proved myself, I became a title. Was given the title of a senior trial paralegal.
Okay. And then what is can you give the salary range a little bit on what you're earning currently as a senior paralegal? And then touch on how your base salary when you first actually became a paralegal. Has it been a drastic difference?
Yes, it is a drastic difference, because when I first came in the legal industry, I did get paid well. I was paid well compared to a lot of litigation secretaries because I worked for a sole proprietorship, and he didn't want to lose me. So he kept on giving me more money. And then I went to another law firm, which is a more medium-sized law firm, and I worked my way up salary-wise. You get your cost of living, you get your 3.5% per year, you get extra bonuses and all that stuff. So when I got to this firm actually pays well as well. I make actually more money than some attorneys. Yeah. Depending on what type of law that you do.
Yeah.
Because I am currently on the top 1% being paid as a trial paralegal. And not just because of my office manager role, but because where I'm at the firm. Just what with my salary plus all my overtime and the trial work that I do. So I actually am the top 1% for a paralegal. I grew up in Covina. You know, it wasn't the worst area, but it wasn't the best area.
Where's that?
Covina, it's in LA County.
Oh.
It's San Gabriel Valley.
Oh, like IE kind of?
No, IE's that, more to the right. It's more like LA County, like San Gabriel Valley area. So I grew up in Covina. You know, I went to a school with a lot of white and Hispanic kids, you know, so.
Is that why you don't like Asian?
Yeah, probably because there wasn't a lot of Asians back there. Like family law and criminal law, they don't get paid as much as corporate law like we do. We do business litigation. We handle big companies. We represent them. So it just really depends on what type of law you do. Yeah.
And so would you say trial law makes kind of the top earning money then?
They can, yes, because especially depending on what your clients as well.
Yeah.
You know, if you represent big clients, and yes, you will get paid more, obviously, because they want to hire the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
So the attorneys at our firm, they come from bigger law firms. I mean, from bigger law schools. They've gone to Harvard, Columbia, USC, you know, Yale. These are the attorneys that work at our firm.
Okay. And then I guess to be at a top law firm, you have to have big credentials then, I'm assuming.
It just depends. Like with us, we like to hire, what our firm does is we hire, individuals that work for district judges, and then we bring them in, or we don't do a lot of crossover between other law firms, but it just depends the type of law that you do. Like we're not going to hire somebody that went to, you know, I don't know, what's the local law school near here? Loyola. Yeah. So something like that.
Yeah.
We're not going to hire unless they have the experience at another law firm doing trial work. We don't normally hire somebody straight out of law school unless they've worked here at our firm prior as a clerk, as a trial fellow, or they worked at the district judge's chambers. You know, they have the best chili cheese fries ever. Seriously,
what?
Best chili cheese fries.
I never got that in my.
Oh, best chili cheese fries ever.
I have baked potatoes. Oh my god, I love baked potatoes.
No, but best chili fries ever. So anyway, so we take the kids there and they go, "Mom, why is there a bullet hole in the window?" I'm like, "Oh my god." So yes, see, this is they were very sheltered growing up.
You've represented some pretty high profile clients. Are you able to disclose that or no?
I can say the names. Like our firm represents Amazon, McDonald's. We have, if you go to our website, you can see a lot of the companies that we represent that they will attest to us. Mm-hmm. So I just finished a McDonald's case that was in the news. Mm-hmm. And I also represented Puff Daddy in a case that was in the news.
Okay.
You know, it was a contract dispute, not the other Puff Daddy P Diddy case, but not the recent one, but another one that was prior to that. It was in the news.
And would you say, I guess, working with these high profile like clients, is it more pressure to you?
Yes, it is a lot more pressure to do this line of work because there are millions at stake. Mm-hmm. Like, they will bring our firm in as a trial firm or from the very beginning represent them, and they're being sued for millions and millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. So it really just depends. Like this McDonald's case that I just finished, they were being sued for over $1 billion.
Do you spend a lot of time kind of working on these? I mean, every law case you're going to be spending a lot of time, but would you say you're working just as much as a regular lawyer does then?
Yes. So paralegals, yes. So at our firm, we treat our paralegals like first-year attorneys or second-year associates. We have a trial fellow program. They're individuals that went to college and are planning to go to law school. So we, as paralegals and trial fellows, we do site checking, fact checking, proof checking, you know, stuff that first-year associates usually handle at a regular firm. Okay. So, yeah. And with our firm, because we're known as a trial firm, when we attack a case, we attack it as if it's just going to trial already. Okay. So it is sometimes, and there's a lot of motion work in the type of work that we do. So we have lots of motions, you know, depending on the part of the litigation of the case, it ebbs and flows, but there are more pressures like when we get closer to trial.
Okay.
Because we have to do all these pretrial documents that are due with the court.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I guess the question is, I feel like a lot of people, they talk about paralegals working more than attorneys do or lawyers. Would you agree to that?
I agree. I do agree because, especially at our firm, like I said, we work like first year associates, second year associates. So we do the work like they would. So we we work a lot. And without us, I'm not going to lie, without the paralegals, the attorneys like do the substantial work, of drafting the pleadings, working on pleadings, but the paralegals actually help the case get filed, with the litigation secretaries. So without us, they would have to do it themselves.
Okay.
And I'm sure they don't want to do that.
Yeah. And then
they don't want to sit there and site check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, do you actually, I know you travel a lot too with being a trial paralegal and also representing high profile clients. With that, I know you travel, but do you actually sit in court too?
So it depends for trials. It really depends on where the case is at. We do a lot of federal cases because of the high profile amounts that we're being sued for. And so we do a lot of federal cases. So it just depends. I've gone to Chicago. I was there when R. Kelly got arraigned. In Chicago, we had a big a white collar lawsuit that we representing as a defense. So, and then I went to Texas. So it really just depends.
Do you work closely with a specific attorney, or is it always
it's just how
needs help?
Yeah, it's just the way our firm works is we'll get a case in. And it just depends who has availability. So we'll have a paralegal, a litigation assistant, a trial fellow, and then we'll have a attorney team. We don't work in specific departments. Like sometimes there's an employment and labor department, or sometimes there's a business litigation department or an IP department. We don't do that.
Okay.
We basically get assigned cases.
Yeah. My mom grew up in Boston. Her dad had 2 other wives after my grandma. And then on his 3rd wife, supposedly second wife, ended up being with this drug dealer. But I think my mom was she always wanted money, And then they went to go actually, they broke into her house.
Are you serious?
I think to look for her little partner. And she just ran place, wrong time, shot and killed.
See?
With your other prior experience too, have you always been in trial, or
no? This is the first firm I did trial.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I did trial before. I would we would do trial preparation.
Yeah.
So I would prepare for trial, but I actually wouldn't go to trial like I do at this firm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has there been is this a place where you're I love this specific?
I love the work.
Okay.
I love the work because we get so many different cases. I've gone to McDonald's, like I said, McDonald's cases. I have IP cases with Amazon. So I have Amazon cases, and I have I have another case to represent Koi Nation, the Indian tribe. Yeah. So
what?
Yeah. So
Native American.
Yes. We have. See, this is what I love about our firm is because I get the exposure to so many different cases.
Yeah.
I have a case where we represent somebody, a company that makes medical devices. So it's intellectual property. And then, or I have one that's a contract dispute. So it really just depends. So in the past year, I had an Amazon Starbucks case. The Amazon Starbucks was being sued for biometric information in New York. So it just really depends. There's a whole different spectrum of different cases I can, be involved with.
Have you liked your other jobs prior?
I did, yeah. My first job, at a law firm, I was there for 6 years. And the reason why I stayed so long is because I had my kids. So it wasn't the environment I wanted to be in. In the job part, after that, I went to a mid-sized law firm and I loved it there. That's where I grew the most. I was there for 15 and a half years.
What areas were they?
They did construction. We represented home builders at the time. Oh. So it was very boring. Yeah, looking at it was quite boring. You go into people's houses, you're like, oh, that's a stucco crack. Or, oh, that was not built properly. Or the windows. So that was boring. But, I learned a lot, though. I always wanted to do trial. Okay. That was always something I really wanted to do. but I never had the chance to do it until this fell into my lap. It is crazy. Things happen. I totally believe things happen for a reason.
For sure.
Yeah, because there's no way I would have been able to do this work if I had my 2 young kids. As a single mother, there's no way, because I'd have long hours and you have to travel for, sometimes we're gone from 2 weeks to, there was a trial, we represented Monster, the energy drink. There was a trial for 3 months.
Would you say there's enough work-life balance then?
No, not at this firm. No, there is no life. I've had to cancel plans. Let's just put it that way, because of this job.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to go into trial work, you're not, it's, especially at this firm, it's hard to have a life, a work-life balance. I'll be honest with you. It is. If you want to go to this type of law, heavy litigation and trial work, this is not the place for you. Like, so when I interview people, because in my office manager role, I have to interview people. Mm-hmm. And I'm honest with people. I said, if you're looking for a 9-to-5 job and you're looking to just, get a paycheck, this is not the job for you, because there are long hours. You work hard, but they appreciate it. That's the good thing about this firm. They appreciate you,
Yeah.
So there's no work-life balance. There can be, but,
Oh, for your previous jobs though, they were okay.
Oh, my previous jobs, no problem. 9 to 5. There's barely any overtime.
Okay. Yeah. And then were you being paid pretty low though at the prior job?
No. I've always been paid well.
Okay.
Except right now I'm the very, very echelon of, not just including my base, but just my overtime, because I do so much overtime. Yeah. I get paid extremely well.
That's good.
Yeah. The base is well. I'm at the top for my base, but just the overtime, it really throws me over the top.
Yeah.
Plus my office manager role.
Do you have any regrets on being a paralegal? Like,
no, not at all.
You wouldn't want to just be like, actually, I want to be a lawyer, or you're just
no, actually, I would wish I would be retired. So no, there is no regrets. Honestly, like I said, things happen for a reason, and I loved where I landed, so it was great. If it's like I was telling Kenna, if it's your time to go, it's your time to go.
Oh, that's bad.
Well, because we were watching the Idaho murders. That's why.
With Brian?
Brian Kober. Yeah, we were watching that in the documentary. So, because two of the people weren't even supposed to be there. So that's what I'm saying. It's just really sad.
You think, I guess the lawyers now, you think they're bitches sometimes to you?
No, not at our firm. Not at our firm. The one thing about our firm is everybody's great that it works at our firm.
Yeah.
They are hardworking. They're extremely hardworking because of where they came from. Mm-hmm. The type of, school. So they've always had that instilled in them.
Yeah.
So we don't have anybody that is really bitchy. They're just harder to work with. They're more difficult. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But they're not bitchy. We don't have anybody yelling at our office. We don't have yellers. Our firm will not put up with that. We don't have anybody yelling at the office, we don't yell at staff. We don't do any of that.
Do you think from going from your first position as a paralegal, like that first job you were at, you think the lawyers are way different than the ones that are here now? And I know there are 2 different areas too, but do you think the more beginnerish, I wouldn't say beginnerish, but
Okay, so for the like baby attorneys.
Yeah.
For the baby attorneys, like at our firm, we've noticed, like for the ones that have been out of law school for a couple years, they're more eager. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
They're a lot eager, and they tend to be more, OCD about stuff and want things a certain way, even though they don't understand that's not the correct way.
Okay.
So it can be harder with the baby attorneys, because they don't know. And that's why we kind of have to guide them as a paralegals. They respect your knowledge.
Yeah.
And they trust you. And so we have to kind of guide them.
Have there been any attorneys that you work with that you just don't get along, period, with?
No.
Have you seen it happen?
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys even do then when
you got to do your job. Like I tell my employees, we don't have to like each other. We all don't have to get along. We don't have to go out and, hang out outside the office. Mm-hmm. But you have to respect each other and work together.
Yeah.
Okay. You work together as a team.
Okay.
Because in the end, we're there to service our clients.
True.
It's not, you can't have any hard feelings. It's nothing personal. And if it gets to that point, we escalate it. As an office manager. Yeah, as an office manager, I have to, we have to escalate. We have to deal with stuff like that. So, being in all, you have to respect each other and work together as a team.
Okay. Yeah, I'm great professional.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because we deal with such high profile clients, we have to be professional. We have to get the job done. So because you don't like A, B, and C, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Your client is who you're representing and who you got to do the best job for.
Has there been a certain pattern then with the successful attorneys and paralegals? Like, have you are there more? The more high maintenance you are, the more successful you are, or the more
no. The more attention to detail you are, the more you work hard, is going to be a successful paralegal or attorney.
Okay.
You got to work hard no matter what. You got to be proud of your work product. What you're laying out, you got to be proud of it. Like, no one's perfect. Everybody's human. Mm-hmm. We all make mistakes. That's why I always tell whenever I hire somebody, always QC your work quality, control your work, because that's your reputation.
Yeah.
But sometimes we get so busy that we have so many moving pieces and we're running so many different cases that, things are going to happen. Mistakes happen. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I can't catch every single mistake, but when I make a mistake, it hits me. I take pride in my work.
Yeah. I'd hope so too, being at a top.
Yeah. I take pride in my work.
Yeah.
So if I make a mistake, like I'll send something out, I'm like, oh, can I cuss on here? You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shoot, I messed that up. You know what I mean? I take very high pride. I take what I spit out, my reputation, my work product, my reputation is very important to me.
For the lawyers then, what do you see, do you see them if they have families? Do you think they have a work-life balance too, or no? More leeway?
Not at our firm.
Okay, so just
just not at our firm.
No.
It just depends. Like, if you've been you're a partner, you have your associates handle all the work.
Okay. And you have more control over your schedule,
yes,
I'm assuming.
Exactly. When you're a partner, you worked, you did blood and sweat and tears for 20 years or 15 years, 10 years. So you're going to hand off your work to the second year associate, to the third year associate, to the fifth year associate, or to other, main associates.
Okay. So walk me through a regular work schedule, like your day in your life every single day.
Honestly, just
are you
depends.
Sunday through Saturday, bam, 8 to 8 o'clock p.m.
No.
I'm working
no, unless you're in trial prep. That's when you're working 6-7 days a week.
Okay.
If you're in trial prep and you're getting ready for trial, we have pre-trial documents due. You have trial exhibits, you have trial witness, stuff due, you have designations due, you have, if you have specific trial related tasks due, yes, you're working 6-7 days a week.
Okay.
I was getting ready for a McDonald's trial. I was working 6-7 days a week, working 12 to 16-hour days. So it really just depends on what's due.
So what's a regular work schedule look like for you?
So if I could say so Mondays and Tuesdays worse because I have meetings on Mondays and Tuesdays. So
is that because you're a senior, 70-year-old senior paralegal?
No, I'm not a senior 70-year-old. Senior means whatever, different type of senior. So no.
Senior citizen?
No,
paralegal.
not senior citizen. So it just depends, honestly.
Is it because you meetings because you're a senior paralegal?
Because of my office manager.
Yeah. Senior paralegal, do you have meetings?
We have meetings. We have meetings once a week at my firm now. We have meetings once a week on Mondays. We do all the.
So you got double meetings.
Yeah. So not they're not senior paralegals. It's basically any paralegal that leads a case to trial. We include them as our main paralegals.
Okay.
So we're the ones who's leading those to trial because we have junior paralegals at our firm and we have trial fellows that work under us.
Okay.
So because of that, we have a meeting every Monday between just to discuss things that are going on and things that we need to discuss.
Got it.
So my workday will start. I'll log in. I'll look at all the emails, see what tasks need to be done, what requests are being sent by attorneys, and then I'll work the cases from there, depending on what the case is.
Okay.
Because I have so many different cases, it just depends what the case needs and what part of the litigation that case is at the time.
Okay.
And then, I'll have the meetings, my office manager meetings, or I'll have a regular meeting. It just really depends. There's no typical day.
Okay.
Yeah.
No typical day.
No typical day.
How much do you think you're working a day?
Well, normally I would work. We do 7.5 hour work days at our firm.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, that's not. A lot of firms do 8 hours. So we do 7.5 hours. So it really just depends, like 7.5 hours.
And then you go home and
no, I go to the gym.
Oh, and you work your glutes.
I work my glutes at the gym, or I go to spin to get that stress, because it is a stress reliever. I've realized, especially spin, because you're, on the go, you're listening to music, you're not thinking about work.
Mm-hmm.
It is a stress reliever. Like the glute gym is a lot different. You're not really stress relieving. You're just concentrating your glutes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it really just depends. But, like I'll work. So if I don't have to work straight through, I'll work, regular 8-hour day or whatever, because I usually work more than 7.5 hours, and I'll work my 8-hour day. Then I'll go to the gym and I'll come back home and log back in. And
so you're still working?
I am still working. Sometimes it just depends on what is needed for the case at the time for that day.
You cry sometimes.
Oh, I've cried relief. So
not sadness.
No. So my first trial I ever had at this firm, I was not used to the long hours. Like we were working till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And then we would sleep 2 to 3, 4 hours a day, because by the time when I get back to the hotel room, I still need to shower. I need to clean up. I need to decompress. I need to do my face stuff. I don't look like this just, because,
you just
naturally.
Woke up like that. Like
exactly.
Beyonce.
I don't just wake up like this. I have to put all my face creams on. So it takes me a while to decompress. So by the time I decompress, if I say I get back to the hotel room at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't go to sleep till 3, and I have to be up again at 7. And we were doing this 7 days straight. When we were in trial, we worked 7 days straight. You're working between 16 to 20 hours straight. So this first trial I went to, it was like 3 years ago. It was in San Francisco, and we worked 48 hours straight, back to back to back. And it was exhausting. Yeah.
And you like doing this?
It's rewarding in the end. It is rewarding in the end. And so we started the trial. It started on the Monday, because trials usually start on Monday, but we always get there a week prior because we got to get ready for trial. So whenever we have a trial, we go up a couple of days before, a week before, to get it all set up for the attorneys to come in. We have a war room. We have all that stuff to get ready for. And then we have to get ready for trial stuff. We do trial outlines or stuff, something like that. So all the substantial work starts coming in. Mm-hmm. And then, so that first trial I went to, we had like 2 straight days of working 48 hours. They actually flew someone in to help us, because it was that crazy. And we even had someone back home remotely working. So it was just me and this individual. He's a trial fellow at the time. It's me and this trial fellow, and we had another trial fellow back home, working remotely. It was so much work that we, and this is my first trial, so I want to do the best, that I could do. Especially because this is my first face-to-face interaction with a lot of these attorneys as well. So we got the call on Thursday, I think Thursday or Friday. We started trial Monday. It started already going. The thing is about our firm is we're so well known in the legal field as a trial firm that we already know what to do, what needs to be done next. So when we get in trial, a trial will start. They'll be like, oh no, this firm is kicking our butt already. So they'll be like, we need to settle. So that's what happened on that case. We settled, and I was crying tears of joy from relief because I was so tired.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That
so this firm's not for everybody, but it's very rewarding in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Because you get money?
No, not just that. Because you work towards an end goal. Your whole goal is to service your client. You want to get the best outcome for your client.
Yeah.
You may have we're really defense in a lot of these cases that we have, where we defend these big companies, and so they're getting sued. Like I said, multi-millions getting sued. And so if you could come to an agreement where you're saving this client millions and millions of dollars, you don't win the case, but you win it for your client.
Yeah. One of the girls' dad killed the mom.
What?
Did they tell you about that? Kiana.
Who killed the mom?
Would you have any advice for people who are looking to be in the law, but they're not sure entirely if they want to be a paralegal or lawyer? Is there if you paperwork and doing research, paralegals for you? If you like doing debating, lawyers for you, or is there?
So lawyers, if you want, especially if you want to be a trial lawyer, you should be in debate because that's what you do. You're debating in court.
Okay.
You know, for paralegals wise, you know, like, okay, so for instance, we have the trial fellow program. It's like I said, an individual went to college and is planning to go to law school, but they're taking a 2-year break. They sign a 2-year contract with us. You take a 2-year break to see if, you know, this is what they want to do. And we've had you know, I actually have 2 individuals that work for me right now. They were trial fellows. They were going to go to law school and they said, this is not for me. I don't want to go to law school anymore. So they're a paralegal now. So it really just depends where your life takes you. You may decide you don't want to be an attorney, or you may feel like, oh, I really like this a lot and I want to go to law school, you know? So my advice is to people is get the legal experience.
Okay.
Work in the law firm, work in the legal field. See if you even like it. You may not even like it. You may hate it. No, honestly, you may hate it. You may hate it because not just for our firm, but any firm, you may hate the legal mumbo jumbo. You may hate the paperwork because it is a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
You may not like motions, you know, especially the type of law. It depends. And also what type of law you want to get into. You know, you may come to this firm where I work at and be like, I don't want to do trial work. This is just crazy. You know, I want to have a life. Yeah. Or you may come and be like, oh my God, I love this. You know, so it just really depends. Like, that's why I said I'm lucky at this firm because I've exposure to so many different type of law.
When it comes to being a paralegal, is there any specific like advice you would give anybody in regards to that?
Education is very important. I know it's a lot harder. Like, so what I did is because I worked at a law firm before, if you can try to work at a law firm, get as much law experience as you can, because the more experience you have, the better, but don't keep on jumping. So as an office manager, what I look for when I interview somebody, and I look at their resume and I look, okay, how long were they at these jobs? Were they there for only a year, 2 years? Does it look like they have a pattern every 2 years they're jumping? Or are they there long term? So like at all the firms I was at, I was there for 6 years, 15 and a half years. And the only reason why I left that firm because I thought I was going to retire there is because I got a promotion as a paralegal supervisor. That's the only reason why I left that firm. So there I was there for 2 years. And the reason why I left that firm is because the trial position came into my lap.
So you would say being at a firm for longer,
yes,
looks better.
Yes, correct. The longer you're at the firm, it shows stability. Mm-hmm. It shows that you know, that they obviously appreciate you because you're there that long. You know, law firms not going to keep you if you do crappy work.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. They're not going to keep you. They're not going to keep you unless they're desperate. You know, they're not going to keep you unless you do crappy work. But also I can give advice is pay attention to your work product. Because you don't want to have a reputation in whatever law firm that you work at as someone who does sloppy work. Mm-hmm. You want to have a great reputation. You know, that's very important to have a good reputation.
We're done. Now let's watch Love Island.
Okay, Kiana.